All right. So today's video is kind of an open discussion. As I get everything set up, we are taking a look at gear that interests me and things that I'm looking at. And I'll tell you one thing that I actually got. And yeah, we'll go from there. Let me get my iPad set up because I like to see what you're saying. And that's the only way I can do it. So today is going to be more of a discussion on this particular video. Let me turn the volume down here on my iPad so I don't have to hear it in my ear. So again, welcome everyone. I go by B Jammin since birth. Most of y'all know that by now, but you can always just put B Jam in there. It's fine too. So I want to give a shout out first to Crazy Wabbit, whether he gets in this stream this time or not, because some time ago, first of all, let me start with this. Some time ago, I had the interface here. Let me show it to you. Mixer interface, let's put it like that, which was the Zoom L6. So Echo Opera, if you guys don't know who he is, kind of put me on to this particular mixer interface. I didn't really know much about it. So this is the original 10 channel or 10 channel mixer right here that I had. And it was cool. It worked. Very good mixer interface. Still is a good interface. You can record to the SD card. Has a couple, has MIDI, of course, in and out. Can act as an audio interface. Couple aux, but the aux are mono, which was kind of a big deal. And then if you look at the corner up there, there's your master out, and then your monitor, which is your headphones. So really good interface for the price. Not too bad. Could do a lot with it, and it's super portable. And best of all, it ran on batteries, which is really cool. So I've had it, let's see, at least twice now and got rid of it, partly because I have an issue with getting rid of stuff before I should. Um, Thinking that, oh, I don't really need it. And to be honest with you, I didn't need it. I didn't have any hardware for a little while. And at one point I did, and that's the reason why I got it. And I still feel to this day, if you don't really have any hardware, this is probably not for you. You need to have some hardware to really get the most use out of it. And to me, that's kind of what the benefit of having a device like this. Otherwise, if you're just on a computer, you really don't need it. So fast forward to why I brought up Crazy Rabbit is he mentioned me in his video when I spoke of the Sonos, which is the line adapter. So let's take a look at that so we get the whole story. So it's at B&H. It's the only place that you can get this, I believe. I haven't seen it anywhere else. But let's go into it. Sonos. I believe it's under accessories, if I'm not mistaken. So they make this one. It's a 3.5 aux, but also has like this Ethernet thing on it. This is the one that I got. Now you can get it in white or black, and it's the Sonos line-in adapter for Era. I think that's one of their devices. The point of this one is that you can use it as like a little portable audio interface, particularly useful for things like the iPad when you want to bring sound into the iPad. And so I've shown it in a few videos. About a year ago, I think I did a video on it where I mention it. And I still think and still have it that this is one of the best little tools for simply just recording in. In fact, I use it for the Astrolab 37 to record into my iPhone or into the iPad. So really good, useful tool. Well, I guess in what was I gonna say? Crazy Rabbit's video, he expressed that he found a hack that he likes, which is basically he's using the monitor or those headphones out that you can see on the screen right now to send to another device that he wants to push sound through. So, for instance, and he also uses it with, I think, with the iPad so that he can get the best use of his audio effects, which makes a lot of sense. And I didn't think about it at the time, but it's actually a clever way of working. So you can go watch his video to get his explanation. I think he he gets really excited in his video, which is cool that he kind of discovered that vibe or that tool. So again, the monitor, sending out audio from the monitor, which is basically your headphone, which you can see right there, to whatever device you want. It gives you an extra port. What's up, Hero? So we're talking about the Sonos line in adapter that I mentioned about a year ago, and that Crazy Rabbit mentioned in his video. So this is it. It's on B&H. So bhphotovideo.com, and then type in Sonos line in adapter and you'll see it. And this is what it is. It's like 20 bucks. Then this is the mixer he's using in his video. So this little mixer interface, which you can see right there, that little button in the middle above the 1, 2, 3, 4, is where you put your hook, your USB-C to send out to your interface. Is incredible little mixer. You have stereo, those four stereos, and then you have the XLR combo jacks, and it works great. But then since that time, I want to say maybe 6 months, maybe less than 6 months ago, they've come out with the Max, which is the 12 channel version of it. Here, let's see if we can get a picture. I was trying to find a picture that showed you the top. Of course, it's the same battery operated and practically the same device. The biggest thing is they added in two XLR combo jacks and high Z, which is huge for when you want to play guitar. I know Hero knows about that. And when you want to play like a bass guitar, let's say into it, you need those high Zs. Now, the older version doesn't have that. So that's a big update for me that's kind of drawn me to want to even get this. And I'll show you this angle because it's kind of easier to see. So you still have this four stereo. And I kind of wish they would have put maybe like two more stereo in there instead of using the extra combo jacks. But nothing wrong with having four, because one of the things that this mixer does is it allows you to record to an SD card, and it records all of the spaces, all of the channels rather, at the same time. So you might not like that because it's not really like your typical multi-track recorder where you're recording in one track at a time, and then you're going to be literally recording everything. So, but this is cool because if you have like an MPC where different channels out, or if you have maybe you do have an MPC going, and then you have your computer going into it, and then you have your iPhone going into it with something going on, or an iPad, and then your guitar, your bass, and you're able to play, or even a microphone to sing if that's your bag. You can do all of that at the same time, and a whole performance can be recorded, and it will stem out your 8 channels of your tracks over there to the the recorder. So they added in not only those extra ports, but if you look right below, let me go back to this one. Right below those input jacks at the top, you'll see they actually have a pad where you can drop it to like -20 if you have a high input on something that you need to adjust. You also can see over here that they added in 4 scenes. It's right below the monitor jack or the headphone. There's 4 scenes. So you can save 4 different settings. I think the previous version only had three, but now they have four. And best of all, and the most important thing is the sub out. So the sub out can be a sub mix where you set different channels here and it only sends out those channels to the sub. Or you can put it as master and it will send out and act as another headphone output, which is actually the way I personally want to use it because I want to be able to send that sound directly to my iPad or iPhone. So if you remember me talking about dual USB-C and the Yamaha mixer, which I did not keep, partly because of two reasons. One, I couldn't get it to power right with my MacBook Pro. I thought that was kind of weird. I could power it with the iPad, but I couldn't power it with the MacBook Pro. So that was kind of frustrating to me. And you never want to buy something on the basis of what they could fix or could do. So you have to be careful when you're buying something like that. But when Crazy Rabbit found out or came up with this idea that, hey, I could use the monitor out to become basically a stereo out option to record into his other devices, it made me think this device here is actually worth revisiting because of that. And I'm going to show you guys something in a second with Sam Ash too, by the way, which is what I'm on, by the way, samash.com. If you haven't looked there, I highly suggest looking there because sometimes they have sales that other companies don't have. So it's a good source, a good tool. This one here has bounce recording. So you can bounce a recording down to a single file. So let's say 1 through 8, you have something going on and you want to bounce it to a single, you can do that. And then when you bounce it, you could bring it back in and reuse it and record over that. So you could actually have a couple things sampling at the same time and then bouncing recording. It's pretty cool. But it also that sub is incredible because now you have your monitors which your headphones can go into. You have the sub which could be another headphone or just an output somewhere else. And it really, for the cost, it's not that much different. So you saw what the other one was like 329. This one's 399. So it's about what is that? About 60 bucks more, 60, 70 bucks more, something like that, give or take. And it's worth it. So I'm gonna add it to the cart just to show you this. So right now they're doing a sale. I'm hoping this still works. It worked for me yesterday. I'm gonna view the cart. So they only got one in stock, by the way. If you want to get it, you better get it now. But anyway, when you go to the checkout, let's go proceed to checkout. Put all your information in, and then there should be a slot on here. I'm not trying to put my information in on the screen. Continue the payment. Well, they don't let you do it till you continue the payment, so I can't show you. Um, Basically, you put in the words. I'm gonna type it here so that you can see it. EXEC, and that is supposed to be 17% off. So on a device like this cost is $68 off. So you can get it cheaper than actually buying the regular one that came out. Or you can use that same code on anything else on their site. And right now it's a President's Day sale, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure how long it's going to be. Oh, here we go. Promo code. Let's see if it works. EXEC. Hit apply. I think that's what I did. Yes, there it is. So it worked. So $68 off, 17%. So there is another website too that you guys can check out, which is called altomusic.com. Now, Alto Music, what I like about them is they always have a sale. So you see up here, save 15% off with code PRES15. So check their stuff out before you buy from other places to make sure you're getting a good deal. Because if they don't give you 15% off, Alto Music will. You can use them because they're a reputable company as a source to help you get it off somewhere else. So keep that in mind. But highly suggest going to here first because they're 17% off, and that's even better. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. Now they have a deals site too, Sam Ash. You guys haven't used them or heard of them. They're around. I mean, they sometimes sell on reverb.com and other places too. Excuse me. So definitely check them out um and see what you can find. Maybe you find something that you really wanted or maybe not. But whatever the case may be, it's worth trying it out. Like let's see what this Phantomos 6 is going to be. Let's add it to the cart. It may not work for the sale because it's already on sale, so view the cart. Excuse me. I'm not sure how their sales work. Yeah, see, it only gave you the 68. So if it's on sale, it will not work. So this is on sale already, so we're gonna remove it. But it looks like it works on the new items. So anyway, just something to think about if you decide you want to go that route. I'm not telling you that you need to get this. It's just what I'm doing personally. It's the gear that I'm probably the only piece of gear that I'm like super interested in right now just because of it. And then again, the Sonos line in adapter from B&H where you can only get it from B&H. So make sure you check that out if you want this. Super good for using the iPhone and recording an instrument or something in. Hey, what's good, Marcus? Good to see you. Yeah, man. Just talking about gear, particularly this little $20 tool that is incredible for especially for iDevices like iPhone, iPad, because unfortunately, who wants to carry around a whole audio interface just for something simple like recording an instrument or something into your iPhone? And this thing fits in your pocket. It's so small. So this is something cool to have if you, I would say get one just to have it, and you never know when it's going to come in handy when you need that for, especially if you're on like a mobile device like an iPhone or even Android, I think would benefit from having something like this if you're recording because Koala works well on Android. It's actually really good. All right, so those are the tools and things I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to hearing in the comments if you're in there. Tell me what piece of gear or device. I don't even care if it's just a cable you're looking for. Just what are you personally looking forward to and trying to find? I'll tell you one more that I kind of touched on recently too. Is I've been really thinking maybe I would consider grabbing one of these controllers. I'm not a big pads person, but every time I say that, then I get to the point where it's like I kind of want something with pads. And then I'm like, why don't I just get right? And it's the time when you say that you never have it. So if you don't have an MPC or have one of those things, but you kind of want some pads so that you can make beats or you can make whatever. To me, this MVAVE, little portable, take it in your pocket, which is super small. It looks bigger in the picture than it actually is, but it's really small. In fact, here's a picture of somebody putting it in their pocket, but you can see how small it is in comparison. It's 4 inches by 4 inches, basically. So you can imagine what that is. To me, built in battery, the fact that it has a built in battery, you can just recharge it. It's wireless, super simple, just plug and play type thing. It only weighs, it's not even a half a pound, and it can fit for sure in your pocket. It's kind of cool. Have something like this with Koala and you'll be set like on the go. You could use it with your phone. So I'm really considering this one because it's only 45. I'm waiting. I'm actually gonna add it to a cart and just wait on it um until you that's what I like to do is add it to my cart and just wait. That way if I see a deal or some quick sale where they're trying to, then I can just grab it. Like if they took any percentage off of this is incredibly low. Then you got the next step from up from there, which is more like this one, where you do get some of the features, like you get some of the controls and stuff. You get the 8 knobs here. You got note repeat. And this one's a little bit bigger, of course. So you can kind of see on somebody's desk if you look at this picture. It's about the size of an iPad 11, Pro 11. Chase Bliss. Hey, what's up, Wonder Arp? Chase Bliss is doing a B stock set. Oh, okay. Also looking at some E1 Bistro plugins at the moment. Now you got me curious. I'm going to check that out. So I know what Chase Bliss is. We can look at that. I'm just going to go Chase Bliss, go to their website. Lost and Found B stock. Okay. So the lost and found B stock, that's cool. What's the price on this thing? Don't see pricing. Hmm. Let's go to pedals right here and see what they got. There is B stocks available. So I guess their B stock may be different ones. You just have to look and see what they have. The only Chase Bliss that I've ever really wanted to try. Now, mind you, I've tried none of them before, except for Lossy, which is actually a plug-in. So this one is a plug-in, Lossy. Good Hertz makes the plug-in, and they worked in conjunction with Chase Bliss to make this Lossy pedal, so you can get that in plug-in. But the only one that I've ever wanted to try was the Mood MK2. But there's so many dip switches on these that for me it's a little challenging to get into because there's so many switches. I don't even know how I could remember all of the stuff because there's so much of it. But they do sound good and they are, I think they look at all these dip switches. My goodness. But it would be fun. I guess you'd never get bored. It's definitely not a boring pedal, that's for sure. All right, so E1 Bristro. I'm gonna have to look that one up because I don't know that one either. E1 Bristow plugins or It might be Bristow plugins. Plugins. Hmm. Is this it here? I make audio tools. Interesting. So filters, stretch. Oh, is this like a time stretch? That's pretty good. I purchased the Keylab MK3 for the pads and faders to remove the MPC and Korg Nano Control 2 from my PC desk setup. Move MPC and Korg Nano 2. Huh. To remove the MPC. So I'm not, maybe I'm probably misreading that. Hero, what do you mean you purchased Keylab MK3 for the pads and faders? Oh, you're saying in conjunction so that you don't have to have the controller. I get what you're saying. So you don't have to have this separate controller here. That makes sense. I mean, I felt the same way when I was looking at the Novation. Oops. That was how I felt when I grabbed the Novation launch key MK4. Yeah, so I don't have now because I got rid of this once I got the Osmos, and now I have the Astrolab, which I tend to drum on keys anyway, which is probably not everybody's cup of tea, but I like the pads on these. The pads and the controls for this are really good. Hey, what's up, Matrix? Good to see you. Yeah, you were using the MPC for pads and the Nano Control for faders. Okay. So yeah, if you get the Mark, what is it? 49. Of course they make this in white now too, but you get the faders, the wheels, all the transport. I wish they would give a better angle of this keyboard, but if we go here, let me see if it does let you zoom in. Not good enough. Over here, you have MIDI capture buttons, everything you need for Ableton. It's super good for Ableton. And the faders and all that, yeah. I never use faders, but I noticed this one sound designer uses faders to control things like the LFOs and the movement and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, good to see you, Matrix. Appreciate you. Yeah, so I could understand that. See, I'm working with the Osmos, so for me, there is no drum pads. Now I drum on the keys and I'm fine with that for now. But every now and then when I'm away from the computer or away from the Osmos and I just want some drum pads to do something to control or trigger something, that's when this little guy would come in handy. And then it doesn't need anything. I mean, this is super portable. Take it on the go with you, throw it in your pocket. If I was on an airplane, I could pull this out and be drumming using Koala. So this is where, I mean, that is where this would come into play. If I'm able to take my Arturia key step, or my Arturia key step, Arturia Astrolab 37, then this kind of would be a little obsolete because you could just use your keyboard. But it depends on your situation and where you're going and how much you can take and space you have. What was the piece you said? Connect, able to record on an iPhone. The piece you use to connecting. Oh, I don't know exactly what. Oh, let me go back to this E1 Bristo to look at some of the stuff. Crunch, Granulate. Some interesting looking plugins. They're simple, but they're kind of cool. I like especially this one. I like the Granulate. So you can meow. That's funny. Another filter and a chop. Okay. How much are these plugins? Let's see. Let's go to the stretch one here. Click on one, see what it does. Are these for Ableton? Oh no, because it says VST right here. Clap, standalone, no DAW needed. Man, he's got a lot of sales. That's crazy. There's a free version. Interesting. I might have to take a look at that. $5. That's crazy good. Okay. He's got good reviews too. I'm gonna have to take a look at this. Thank you for putting me on to this Wonder Harp. I mean Wonder Arp. I said Wonder Harp. That would be kind of cool too. But Wonder Arp. Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna look into this more. Plus the aftertouch. Hey, what's up, Matrix? Good to see you, buddy. Um, yeah, the aftertouch is a big thing. So you're talking about the which one did you say you got? You got the Keylab. Good Lord, I gotta learn how to spell the Mark III. So I think yeah, because so this is the one you got right here, which is the oh you got. Did you get the Essential or the 61 or the this one? They've made in plug-in data, plug data, which they're made in plug data, which can be loaded as VST, I believe. That is pretty cool. No, that's really cool. I'm gonna take a look at them more. Um, did you, Hero? Did you get the 49 key or which one did you get? Or did you get the essentials where it's only the 8 Mark 3 61? Okay, so you got the 61. So you went all in then. Does yours have a screen that looks like that? That's incredible. That looks good. No wonder you like it. This is the newer stuff, so I hadn't really taken a look. I think the older one I remember, it didn't look like this. And the pads, I wish they would have made 16 pads, but I guess you figured out it works for you. That's all that matters. Let me take a peek and see if I can zoom in. I guess not. Yeah, a little bit. Not bad. So I don't understand why they did 12, which is I guess it's like an octave. 12 notes is an octave so you could play, but who plays keys on the pads like that? I mean, if you got a keys down here, it don't make no sense to me, but oh that Transport. So does the transport bar not work with Ableton very well? Since we're talking about this now, this dang screen is incredible though. I have to admit. And those knob, the faders look like they're really nice. Oh, and it's got that little wood grain on the side. Okay, make you feel like somebody. I see it. I just love that on the Astrolab 37 too. It's the little key, the little wood grain stuff on the side. Let me take a look at the interesting. It's got like the synth keys. So are the keys semi-weighted or no? I wish this thing would let me zoom in a little bit closer. I mean, that's as much as it gives me. Yeah, I mainly use 8 pads. The transport works nicely. Yeah, I mean, I don't need more than typically 8 myself. I'm about the same. I don't really need more than 8, but it's just weird to see 12 on a keyboard, but I'm not sure why they would choose that, but it's good. It's got the MIDI DIN on the back. It's got the USB-C. It pairs well with Ableton and has felt keybed. Nice. It's hard to notice that here, but okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's right there. So the Astrolab has that same thing. It has a little felt under the keybed, which is nice. So that keeps that little clicky sound down so that you don't have to deal with that, which is really good because I hate having to hear that little click when the when it goes back on the other keyboards. It gets pretty cheap sounding. The buttons look good, the knobs look good, the wheels look good, and it's got enough buttons to not look overly done, but I just can't, I'm floored by how good the what is this picture? Oh, it's the back. I'm actually floored with how good this screen looks. And the fact that it shows like an actual instrument on it is crazy. Now I see why you like it. It's pretty good. Yeah, if I didn't have the Osmos, I'd definitely look into something like this because I love using the Arturia stuff. Very cool. Just taking a look at these pictures. So yeah, those are some cool options. I mean, that's a nice little chunk of change if you can catch it on sale. Not bad. And I definitely would choose 61. 49 is a minimum. Let's see what the 49 is running. So you're talking about 120 bucks more to get that. And looks like the white one's on sale. So if you could settle for the white one, you could get it around $407. Save a little bit more money. That's another $72. Not bad. I do like the black one better though. I mean, for the looks more or less, but I can work with 49. I can work with 37. Anything past when it's 25, I can't do it for me personally. It just doesn't work. And it has a random dice art function. Really? I didn't know that. There's all those little hidden things that they don't tell you about until you get it, probably. Let me see. Yeah, the aftertouch. I know you're big on the aftertouch. I think Novation will put the aftertouch in the um, MK4 fives that come out at some point because I think a lot of people complained about that. Like, how do you make a keyboard these days without having the aftertouch in there? It's kind of one of those things people really want. So not bad on the weight. I thought the weight was going to be more than this, but 18.7 pounds, assuming that's correct without going into the actual manual. 18.7 pounds. If you can, that's tolerable. Just peeking down here to see what people say. I don't always read reviews, but I do look at them. And I think the ones that I look at the most, I do look at these bad ones, but I look at people that give them 4. 3 and 4 I think are good reviews to actually review. And the reason is because typically you can kind of get a sense of this person likes this keyboard, but there may be one thing that they feel, one or two things that they feel is missing, and then it can help you kind of decide, oh, that's not a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? Or that is a big deal to me and I don't want it. So you have to figure it out. When somebody just says one keyboard is garbage, and then they say, but nice controller otherwise, and they give it a 1, I'm like, how do you even say nice controller otherwise if you're going to give it a 1? I would say even on my worst rating, it's going to be at least a 3. But anyway, that's people. If they add poly aftertouch to the MK5, I'm in. Yeah, I'm with you. The screen is nice on the Arturia one. I do like Arturia keys typically, but the Novation just works so good with Ableton. And as long as I'm on Ableton, I need everything to work and line up with it. I don't want to have to do no control settings and all that extra mapping. Also, the Keylab is bus powered through USB-C. Oh, okay. Well, the Novation is too. It doesn't. You don't have to. I mean, I can plug my iPad into it and it works fine. But to have that screen is a whole nother issue. Now, what I'm curious about is when it's not an Arturia plugin, what shows up on the screen? And Hero, you might have to answer that for us because I don't know anybody else that has it. But what shows up on the screen when it's not an Arturia plugin? For instance, if I'm using an Ableton plugin or I'm using, I don't know, some Omnisphere, what do you see on the screen? What's the typical thing you see? That's what I want to know. Keylab is mapped oh, okay, it's mapped perfectly for Ableton. So that's good to know. So the transport, so if you're saying that it is, then what made you, oh, that's right, you bought that MPK mini for the software, not for the transport. Because I was like, if you already have the Keylab, then it's mapped for it, then why would you get the other one? But I remember you saying that you bought it for this software plugin that you wanted. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So again, if you go for this little controller that I'm looking at over here, you're getting it just for your phone when you're away from your main workstation. It's just a little portable, sit down in front of a TV or sit down in a park or something playing with your koala or something like that. That would be the only reason I would grab something like this. Only Arturia plugins show up within the screen. Oh, okay. See, that's the one thing that I would say would have been cool is if they had some partnerships with other plugins, particularly like Spectrasonics, big companies like that, where they could say, okay, we can show the actual, I don't know, we could show the UI or something on there. That would have been kind of cool. But still not bad. I mean, nonetheless. And I do use a lot of pigments and things like that, so I get it. I totally get it. It is a little pricey for a controller, but like I said, if you can get it at a reasonable price and for all the features it offers, that's not too bad. I thought the Osmos, really the one thing I would say to that company is make a version of this that's just a controller. And they could legit sell it for 7.99 and or even 8.99 and make good money. It would be a controller version that doesn't have all the internal sounds and the matrix inside. Is just for playing the expressive sounds because that's how I use it mostly. The internal sounds really don't mean much to me right now, but maybe down the road they will. Look at the new Eventide Music Mouse plugin. Probably a skip for me. Eventide Mouse plugin. Let me see if they're on Temperance. Is that the one? Or what is it? Do you know what it's called by any chance? Let's see, a mouse. No, that's a reverb. Let me see if I can find it. Here, I'll look for it under a different way. Okay. Boy, I am typing everything but what I mean. A mouse plugin. Let's see if we can find it, what you're talking about. Music Mouse, the groundbreaking 1986. I think this is what you mean. Music Mouse. All right, so let's see if we can find it somewhere here and see what it costs. It must be something coming out and it hasn't dropped completely or hasn't dropped for the public yet. But it's a piece of software based on the 80s. Oh my lord, is this it right here? Interesting. Hopefully this is what it looks like and not this. So this must be the older version. I'm not reading all this stuff, but oh yeah, it says the original right here. Okay, so that's the original. Well, at least they tried to make it look a little better because I was like, see, voices. I mean, this is cool looking, but I know good and well I would never use something like this. I don't really. I think people that really just like nostalgia type stuff, they would love it. Music Mouse, yeah, that's it. So that's it right there. I think it's it's okay. I mean, looking, I don't know what it does. I would need to hear it. I don't even remember. I don't think in the 80s I was even making music. 86 I was probably like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. I was 5, but yeah, no. Interesting though nonetheless, but yeah, I would never personally I wouldn't touch that. So this is cool though. I like this piece of gear here. I would definitely consider it if I didn't have a keyboard that I already like because I don't really need the pads. The transport bar is the appealing thing to me. I don't care for faders personally. I do like the knobs. The screen is cool. Don't really need it, but I dig it. And of course, I always like to have wheels. So very cool. But that's good. Everybody's got gear they like or need. So yeah, very cool. Any other gear out there you guys are interested in or looking at personally? Sweetwater is not an affiliate, by the way. I'm just using them because they tend to have most of the stuff that's out there. And for some reason, the website is janky right now. I see it's glitching. I don't know if you guys can see that. When I go try to scroll down, it just does some weird. If you guys don't know about the Deal Zone too, check out the Deal Zone for that doesn't sound right, but for Sweetwater, they sometimes have good deals, right? That you might want. I did say deals, not the Tone XIR. I think that's about it. You know, something I wish would come out is I wish Roland would drop the SP404 updated. It would be either an update for the one that's already out or drop a new one that is vamped up a little bit more. And you guys probably heard about the Move coming out with audio tracks now. Plus, Ableton's dropping the audio or the link audio, which means that you can just record right into Ableton using it. It's kind of cool. You know what I'm hoping for? I'm really hoping for this is that Novation launch key. will drop the new Mark V with the aftertouch because I know Hero wants that. Even if they charge $100 more, that they would come out with some kind of way to be able to use it with Link Audio. I don't know. It's just a MIDI controller, so what am I expecting? Not really a lot, but it would be really nice if they went in and revamped this. One, they could put in a little felt that would keep these keys from being a little clicky. The semi weight is actually pretty decent on the 49. All the transport stuff is good. The screen is pretty nice. I wouldn't complain about that or the pads. They did a good job on that, but just a little bit of revamping, make it more current with the Link audio stuff that's coming out would be kind of cool. Or what I really, 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 really wish they would do is they would make the Move, instead of it just being just like a padded controller, they would make something like this, the smaller version, like 37 right here, because we don't have to have the faders. Just as it is, you can see right there where it's got capture MIDI, everything, but put the Move inside of this so that you have a keyboard with the Move in it would be the perfect scenario. It can have, I mean, as far as the tracks go, you could even make it have 8 tracks because you got a series of 8 pads across there, and then let you do your tracks that way. If they paired up with something like Novation that is able to Novation, since they kind of, Novation makes a lot of stuff for them, that would be pretty cool. I'm looking for a desk saver for the TO. Okay, let's look at that desk saver. So have they not came out with one for it yet? Because excuse me, because they're deck savers in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. TO, we'll just type TO in. TO5. They have a soft fit. What is that? Soft fit, take 5, cover TO5. So there's the TO5. I think maybe it's the same cover. You might want to check the dimensions. Let's add it to a cart. It's only 55 euros, so that's about what, $60? Somewhere around there, maybe a little more. Sweetwater has one. Okay. Let's take a look at that. TO5. Eesh, good Lord. $109. You might want to go check go check the actual deck saver because it might take a little longer to get it. But bro, if you can save like 40, $50 by doing this is well worth it. 55 euro. And then if I'm not mistaken, see it says shipping to the year to EU from, so it's like 18 euros. So even if you spent, was that about 75-ish dollars? It's cheaper than that, 110. And then always check Amazon or check Reverb to see if somebody put in one a little bit cheaper. So see, yeah, it's still 110 there. See if you can. You might check and see if you can order directly from DeckSaver, and also check before you even do that too. You can. They may or may not have it, but check Alto Music. TO-5 and see if they have the Deck Saver. They don't. Okay. They don't have the Deck Saver, unfortunately. Because let's say you get the 15% off. So if they don't have it, then you check Reverb. That's your go-to Reverb, and see if you can find one. I sometimes you can find one used here. Find the deck saver or cover. See, here's a deck saver, but that's too expensive. That's the same price as getting from Sweetwater. Everybody's the same price. So yeah, I would definitely go to decksaver.com and check it out there. See if you can get it for cheaper. And then walk away saving even if it's like I said, 40 bucks. But Sweetwater is easy to work with if I have any problems. That is true, but it's a deck saver. I mean, that is true. I mean, unless you plan on returning the deck saver or something and you feel like, hey man, it's gonna go. But then again, look at what the total is. So what is 89.65? It may be the same price. So you might be right. If it's cheaper, I'd say, but if you're only saving like a couple bucks, you're right. Just go with Sweetwater. Because it may be really that same price. The other option is wait till you see it on sale. I mean, obviously that's the because I was looking at one for the Astrolab, the 37, and I don't think they've come out with one yet. Yeah, I don't think there's anything for it. That would be cool though. And even Deck Saver, when you go here, if you go Astrolab, they may have one. See, they only have one for the 61. Deck Saver doesn't budge on pricing either. Like sometimes you can get a deal if somebody's selling one cheap, but generally speaking, they don't. I was curious how they were going to make this. See, I just check this out because there's a slant on the way this wood curves like this. I was wondering how they were. It looks like they made a slant here that actually fits. So yeah, that's pretty cool because that little curve on the end is kind of difficult. So maybe they'll come out with one for the 37. I'll probably be interested in that one. Maybe we'll see. We shall see. $1,300 for one. Is it really only a five voice? So that means you could only play five notes at the same time for it? Is that true? And I'm curious, you can maybe mention a hero if you know. If that's true, what makes grabbing this one with the keys versus not with the keys better or not better? I'm curious. Other than the price is insanely higher for sure. Because this one's only 1,000 used. I mean, if you've seen this for like $8.99 used, I'd be like all in or something like that if it was cheaper. But I couldn't see myself for a five voice. But the sound is amazing. There's no question the sound is good. So interesting though. Yeah, only five voices. But when you use it as a MIDI controller, it's not five voices, right? It's just a MIDI controller, so you don't have that issue. It's just for the synth internally. Okay, interesting. Have you guys seen the Yamaha? I think it's called the C. Is it a CK? Yeah, I think it is CK. CK something. Yeah, stage piano. There it is. CK. Okay, so this one is one of the only keyboards that I'm really like this and the mod, maybe the mod 6 are one of the ones that I'm interested in. If you like Rhodes and that kind of stuff. But they also make the Yamaha, I think it's called the YC. Yeah, the YC61. And it's expensive, but it's definitely one of those boards where you get the organs and the keys. Sounds really good. A little expensive though, obviously. But then there's the new Yamaha mod. think it's the Mod X6. Mod X M6. This thing looks amazing. And the guitars in here sound really good too. Yamaha has always been good at that, coming up with guitars and stuff. The price is a little much for my taste, but if you really want something that's like a keeper board that you're going to use all the time, it's not too bad for an instrument. And you know the Yamaha sounds are going to be good. You don't have to worry about that. That's for sure. I was trying to look at the ins and outs, but it's hard to see. Let me see if this one, if they would let me zoom, I would be nice. But anyway, so it's got a lot of IO on the back, which is kind of cool if you're interested in that. One of the sub 37 is one of the ones I like that I'll never buy just because although they added this programming panel looking thing to it, so I think you can save your presets in it, which is kind of nice. Cuz I don't know if back in the day if they had all that, if you could save presets cuz ain't no way I'm going to be sitting here trying to remember where I placed each knob for different parts. That would drive me crazy. But man, this thing would be amazing to have. And at the price that it's coming in right now, it's not too bad. It's probably the one cent that I would be like, okay, if I had the money to just break bread, I would grab. The keys on the Tail 5 are the best keys I've played so far. Is it a Fatar keyboard or keybed? I'm assuming. Let's see. Go back to it. They better be at 1850. I'm sorry, but they better be good. Here's an open box, by the way, if anybody's interested. I would say you get an open box for sure. Let's see if it'll tell us what the keys are. Hmm. Prime for Studio Stay. Oh yeah, there it is. Fatar keybed. And that would be why they are good. Yeah, Fatar. So that's why they make some of the best, in my opinion, keybeds. So now that you said that, let's go back to what I was looking at and see if Moog, Moog or Moog, however you pronounce it, see if they use the same Fatar. Sometimes they say it and sometimes they don't. To me, it's one of those things where you would want to advertise it because people know that keybed and immediately they think quality. I think when they see it or hear it. Let's go to the specs. Semi-weighted. Yeah, nothing. Good Lord, it's 22 pounds. Incredible. I purchased the Teo when it dropped. It was 15.99, I believe, or maybe. That's not bad. See, that's the key, hero. You're right. I mean, just like get it when it's like it drops. Catch it on sale. Do not buy it full price unless you're just desperate to buy it full price. But I wouldn't buy any of these keyboards at full price. I mean, the same thing for the Osmos. Like, I did not buy that thing at full price. I got 30% off because of an artist deal, but they also do 30% off on refurbished ones. Mine wasn't a refurbished, it was a brand new one. But I mean, if you can get 30% off of it, then it's worth it. If you can't, yeah, buy it used. That's the way to go. Save you some money. Because I definitely would get something like this if it was lower, but I'm not. This is just too high. Unless I'm going to use it every day, all the time, it's going to be the main thing nothing else. I mean, it is incredible though. You can't look at this stuff too long; it'll get to you. But it is pretty incredible. Look at that. Just looks so good. And as long as you love the sound in it. But yeah, that subsequent 37 is just something else. That thing looks good. We should stop looking at. No, I'm just kidding. It's fun to look at it. What's the deck saver? Same price, 110. So that must be for the high end keyboards. That must be a common price. I mean, when it was first released, the price went up since. Oh, okay. Oh, so you went in, you knew that was the one for you. That's good, man. Well, at least you knew it was the one that you wanted. I mean, that's as long as it's the one you wanted, no problem. This is the only one that I've really wanted to where I was like, other than the Osmos, which in this case you can see I didn't get the 61 either. I got the 49. But yeah, this is the one for me. I love this keyboard. I mean, it's just the best as far as controlling. And don't read reviews because a lot of these reviews are old anyway. When did you write this? January 2026. I don't read these reviews too much. I mean, every piece of gear could have something in it that's bad or whatever. If it's like a bunch of people saying the same thing, then maybe you consider it. But yeah, most of the time on this stuff I don't read it. 49 keys, 15 reviews. And see, and when you look at the 49, you got 15 reviews with 4 stars at least. I I think a lot of times people hate the software in this keyboard, and I totally understand. It's incredible, the hacking audio software, but it's definitely difficult if you don't know programming and really the matrix type of programming that goes on in it. It's above my pay grade. I really can't say I know anything about it, but the sounds are incredible. There's way more than 500 sounds now because when you get the update, it gives you more. And this is key. Look at this, 24 maximum voices. You ain't even got 24 fingers, but that's incredible. And each note is individual, which makes it even better. Um, I have not used this software at all, the Egan Matrix software. I don't even want to mess my head up like that because it's way above my ability. But you have polyphonic aftertouch, MPE. I mean, this is the key. Look at this. Polyphonic aftertouch includes extended vertical range and horizontal modulation per key. So per key, you can bend the notes, right? And that's the key. Is like that's the key. Yeah, it is the sound of our '80s childhood. That oh yeah, Oberheim lushness. You think about Prince, you think about Michael Jackson, all those guys, Phil Collins. I totally agree with you. There's no question the TO 5 is a good keyboard. I mean, I wish it was more than 5 notes. If it was like 8 notes, I think it'd be like a no brainer. But the 5 note thing is, and not that 5 notes are bad. I mean, you still can play some chords with it. But I think it's one of those things where I'd be using it for more like leads, bass lines, and things of that nature. And of course, pads. I was so close to getting Osmos, but ended up choosing the. And you didn't choose wrong because if you like the TO 5 sounds, you probably came out better. To me, what makes the Osmos special is just being able to bend notes and do things that you can't do with your typical keyboard. That's what makes the Osmos special. If it wasn't for that, I would not have got the Osmos. The polyphonic aftertouch, the MPE, that kind of stuff. It's like having the push 3 without having pads, but having keys that can do it. That's basically what it is. So for me, I was looking at it from that aspect, and I did not pay this price either. Way below this price. So mine was 1250, 1250, which is really low for what it is. And I didn't have to pay any taxes or shipping fees. So no taxes, no shipping fees, and less than this price. So you can imagine why I chose to get it. TO5 just released Polychain. So if you buy a desktop module, I can polychain it to the TO and get 10 voices. Oh, heck yeah. So desktop module just released Polychain. So what is Polychain when you say that? By the way, if you want the TO5, it looks like there are some used versions, even some brand new. Look at this brand new desktop version. Well, that's kind of expensive. But the key version here, look at this price, brand new, 1453. That's like almost $275 cheaper. Oh, but that shipping is insane. Oh, it's coming from Belgium. Never mind. Shipping is too much anyway, because by the time you put the 200 and something dollars back on there, you're paying almost the regular price. So screw that. Sorry, but not happening. But anyway, getting back to what you were saying. So what is that poly chain? Oh, you're saying they released a software that allows you to hook two of them together, or you can take the desktop and place it with the keyboard you already have and get 10 voices. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's what I figured after I thought about it for a second. So putting this desktop with your keyboard that you already have, yeah, that's expensive though. My goodness. 1400 plus. Good gracious. At that point, I would wonder, could you just use a keyboard MIDI controller that could play more voices with your keyboard and then still get the, like for instance, you have the other keyboard that gives you the aftertouch. Hey, what's up, Lifted Noise? Good to see you, man. We're looking at all kinds of stuff. Is anything you want me to look at? We're just looking at it. But I was showing, this is the keyboard I have, the Osmos 49 synthesizer MIDI controller. We're talking about deals, so I did not pay this for it. And then Hero has the Oberheim TO5 that he uses on his channel. And we were talking about pairing that with this to get 10 voices versus 5. And before that, we were talking about some of the other stuff that's out there that you could get. And we were looking at this one, which is a portable built-in battery little drum pad that fits in your pocket. Yeah, I would rather get a Leviathan. Leviathan. Oh, that's ASM. Yeah, I agree with you. That one looks dope too. I forgot about that one. Let's see if it's on here. ASM. Yep, they got it on here. Good Lord. It is expensive though. But there it is in all its beauty. 8 oscillators. That's crazy. Did they put a random button on this thing? Hold on, let me see. Can't see it. I wonder if they put, so on their other keyboard that they have a random, let me see. Let's go back. On the Hydra synth, there is a random button that exists on the, where's the Explorer? Because I had the smaller one. And I didn't even realize the Hydra synth is 8 voices, by the way, which is actually still really good because you figure you only typically on your hands, you're going to play about maybe 8 at the most, 6 to 8 notes. So yeah, this is the one I had in the past. Oops. And right here, if you look, you'll see there's a random button. You can literally click on the random button and make yourself, it'll make an instrument. It'll just randomize everything. Or you can hold random and select like the over here, the mutate or any of these buttons. You can hit random and then press it, and it'll randomize those buttons alone. That was one of the things I loved about the Hydrasynth. It was incredible for like FM weird sounds like that. You could do some crazy stuff. So if they added, I'm going to click on this one here. They added that to this one. They did. Look, it's right there. That's incredible. Now, see, that would make me want to get this just because it has the random button. Because if you're a non sound designer and you don't understand all these envelopes and waveforms and oscillators, and you got 8 oscillators to try to come up with, that would drive me crazy. But below, if you can see, can you see down? Let me scooch this thing down. There are 16 pads, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a, um, I don't know if it's 16 tracks or if it's like an actual step sequencer. But anyway, it's very interesting that they actually built this. It's cool. You get your digital and analog filters too. Yep. Hey, good to see you, Raul. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, we're just talking gear. Pretty much that's it right now. Just talking about gear and different things. But if you just need a simple controller and you just want pads, to me, this little guy here, the other one that I didn't kind of point out was that is kind of been popular, I think, if I can find it. Let me see. It's made by Sanudo, I think. There it is. I don't know if Raul did this one on his channel or not, but this one here, this thing here is a monster. For the price, I think this is probably the best MIDI pad controller I've seen. Now, I haven't tried it, but I've heard from a couple different people who have it, and they all think this, or give this one high praise. So I think if I was looking for just this type of workflow, I would go with something like this. However, for that price, if you want keys, you might as well go with like either a Novation, or if you can step up even bigger than that, the Keylab Mark III. If your chats got removed, I didn't remove it, nor did I see it. But if you're putting links in there, it's probably not working because I would have to make you a mod to let you do links. So let me see, community mod. Definitely not. Can't do community mod. That wouldn't work. Uh-oh. Oh, let me pull this back up. Go back into the live chat. I don't know if I can. I don't know much about how to make a person a mod, so I would have to look at that. Chat filter. Nope. Community mod. Nope. Anyone can participate. I'll have to figure that out on the mods because I don't really know how that works, to be honest with you. Hopefully you guys didn't get turned off. Are we still there on the chat? Because I think I pressed the wrong button there. Are we? If somebody can drop a line in there, just let me know that you didn't get cut off. I was trying to look at that mod thing and press the button, and I think I messed something up. Oh, well, Marcus just said something. Sanudo builds their gear well. Oh, here we go. Now I'm seeing chats. I don't know what was going on. I have the RD 2000 right now, but way down the road, I really want a Kiwa VPC one with the whole like mini Mac setup for my room so I can do anything with it. Interesting. I will need to know what that one is. Hold on, let me turn that off. VPC, you said VPC one? Let's just type it in the right way. VPC one. Oh, so you want those 88 keys with the whole, yeah, that's a really good piano. I've played one of these. I don't know if it was this one. It's an older version I had tried. It was pretty good, impressive too. Yeah, that's a real deal, Holyfield. All right, cool. Sanudo builds are clear well, no links. I just said hello to Hero and said my wife. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube takes a mind of its own, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Cause I don't only time I'll block somebody is if you get in here talking about some derogatory thing or something negative towards a certain race or something like that, then I'm not gonna tolerate it. But other than that, for the most part, I let people speak freely. Um I got the MPK 3. Okay. I want the 4, but I really think I'm gonna wait for the funds for the live 3. Yeah. If I mean if well, I mean the MPK is just a keyboard. So yeah, I mean definitely save up for the live 3 if you really want that. Because I would say just having a controller, it's gonna be the same practically. There may be a little variation in the way the 4 and the 3 work, but it's not enough to go buying a new one unless you're going to sell the old one and use the money to fund it. Yeah, we're good. Appreciate you, Marcus. It's pretty much a MIDI controller, but with Kawhi's grand piano system inside of it. Really expensive, but worth it down the. Yeah, no, they sound incredible. That's cool though. I mean, as long as it's got, I mean, if I'm paying this kind of money, it better have some real something where I can use it as not only a controller, but also be able to hear the sound. But if it's just a MIDI controller at that price, that's way too much for me personally. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just for me personally. I don't want something that's just a MIDI controller. But let me look at the back of it. It's got everything you need for a controller for sure. So that's no question. I was trying to see. I'll have to look at some actual videos of it. It has apparently. Does it have sound in it, or is it just legit a controller? Gee, let's see. Controller. Yeah, I guess it is just a controller. And whether you get like the software with it, I don't know. That's kind of expensive for a controller. There's some real, I mean, if I'm going to pay this much, you might as well get a real keyboard. I mean, when I say keyboard, I meant like a real piano and then just buy one and see if there's it. Because there's got to be some out there that have the actual sound in them with this. Or does it have the sound and I'm confusing it? Because when you say it's their system in it, I'm curious, like, see, virtual software, piano. So you get the virtual software. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a lot for just a straight MIDI controller. But if you like it, you like it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just for me personally, yeah, I want something that's a real keyboard at that price. I mean, a real piano at that price. But cool nonetheless. And I'll agree with you, Raul, that the Sanudo stuff is top tier when it comes to because I've heard nothing negative about it. Like literally nobody I've ever heard that use it say anything bad about it. The only reason I'd be interested in something like this is if I wanted something for a pocket for my pockets to go. The M-Wave stuff is actually pretty good. When it first came out, it was trash, I'm gonna be honest. But over the last few years that they've built stuff, it's gotten so much better. Now, I don't know on these pads, they do say velocity sensitive, but I don't know how good they are because I haven't used them in forever. But just something to consider. But I mean, up to 8 hours of continuous use on a rechargeable battery with Koala and this together, I think you can't go wrong. Now, this, if you got the extra money, another $100 more, and you can afford it, you get a case and you get all of this, the extra pads and buttons if you don't want to touch the screen on Koala. And I would say it's still probably pretty portable for the most part. It's not too bad. So let me see if I can get the notes up here. Okay, cool. It's what Billy Joel uses. He has it hooked up to American Ivory D layered with Billy Joel. Yeah, I like Billy Joel's music. Are you just a studio guy or do you play live at all? I am primarily a studio guy now, but I don't play live with any bands, but I used to play guitar, bass all the time, like actually play and jam with people. So yeah, I mean, in that essence, I may be going to do a live show with some friends at this house thing they want to do. And when I do that, I'll be using my Osmos, which is pretty much a synthesizer that has a keyboard. But I'll be doing more ambient, like cinematic stuff like that, like my type of music that I would play. So yeah, I'll be doing that when I'm jamming. What's up, Linda's son? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Same to you. Just talking about gear that we're looking at and interested in. Again, I'm not Ross, I'm not saying this is a bad piece of gear by any means. Obviously, it's professional, it's going to be really good. I was just saying for the price, I feel like you might be able to find an actual keyboard or a piano, I should say, and then hopefully it would have an option of some MIDI that you could use with it. But yeah, I guess if you're looking for that exact keyboard, then yeah, it is what it is. I was trying to see if there's something in that price range that's a whole piano. I guess the portability maybe is why you would go with something like that. Maybe it's lighter in weight, but I don't know. Because a lot of these digital pianos anyway have the capability of, let me see. If it's digital, it should have the capability of plugging in somewhere, right? Let's see. Hammer action 17 to so this one includes sounds. What's the key bed? It's an 88 digital home piano with authentic concerts touch. I guess if it's digital and it's not like it's a real piano, it's all digital anyway. It really don't matter whether you use a computer with it or not, right? Um, at that point, because it's still digital. But I was just thinking if you pay that kind of money, it would be a little more to it. This one's close to that price, and it's an actual piano and a master controller. I don't know, just a thought. But and you might even be able to get it used. Like here's 3 certified open box versions of it. 88 keys. You get the pitch wheels, which is not normal on a piano, but that's kind of cool that it's available. I don't know how well it is. I haven't really done the research. Definitely do your research. But it's got the MIDI hookup stuff that you need to be able to run it. So I don't know. If I'm spending that kind of money, this would be more me. Um, but that's just my take on it. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably not buying any new. Yeah, I'm not buying anything new either. I get it. Um, Although I did talk about it earlier, I got a good deal on it. And I told you guys about it. For those that were here earlier, you already heard this. But if you go to Sam Ash, I think in my lifetime I've only bought something once from Sam Ash, but they have a discount on some of their new items. And the one I was looking at was the Zoom L6 Max. Zoom L. Why did it come up? Oh, because I put it together. Zoom L6 Max. There we go. So I was showing this. I gave the story at the beginning. You can go back and watch. I'm not going to rehash it, but this is the newer version where it has the high Z inputs, the mixer with the screen, and you get the sub out, which is basically another headphone out line, basically. And then I was showing that they have this deal. There's only one of these left. That's interesting. If you go to the cart, I think if you hit view cart, okay, there we go. Yeah, it's a promo code right now that is pretty much, well, we're going to use caps, 17% off. So if you hit apply, you can see right there what it costs. So 68 bucks off, which is pretty good. So you can use this on just about anything in there that's new. If it's already on sale, then you can't. But if it's new, they're doing a promo. So 17% off. And then it brings your price down. It's pretty good. So check out samash.com. Again, they're not a sponsor. I'm just showing you guys because it's a deal. That's the reason why. For other things, you can check out Alto Music. They do, I think every time I go to this website, I don't care what time of the year it is, there's a sale. Right now it's 15% off. Use Prez 15 and you can get a nice deal. So there's different things here. If that's something you're interested in. If not, don't worry, I don't get paid to show you this. I'm just showing it to you. Loving the OPXY. I miss the OPXY at times, sometimes, but it's a great device. Gumroad getting packs. Yep, getting packs from um color colors in space. Yeah, he's dope. I have a few of his things too. Yeah, the OPXY is an amazing little sequencer device. And they've enhanced it so much since the time I had one. For sure. I'm probably would not buy anything new. I'm not really in the market for another piano at the moment. Yeah, I think it's cool too. I agree with you, Ross. I'm kind of banking on it going down in price at some point. Yeah, at some point, or you can find a used one at some point when somebody's just trying to. My RD 2000 treats me well anyway at the moment. I agree. Yeah, OPXY is incredible. If you get it for a good price, it's definitely definitely fun. A fun little sampler. If my keyboard here would work, this would be great too. Not sure why. So yeah, at this price, it's a no-go, but if you can get it for around 17, maybe it's actually pretty good. 16 is nice. Anything less than 16 is amazing. And definitely it's worth it at that point. It's a fun little, I mean, the fact that it has 8 tracks is huge. They added sample chopping, even though it's not my favorite way to chop, it's still pretty good in comparison. Copying pads, they finally added that, which is nice. The only thing I hate, or really think the thing I hate the most, is the file system is horrible. And other than the file system, which is horrible, it's a pretty good device all around. I mean, it's definitely well built. It's just a few things internally that they'll have to work on. Um, and the note polyphony is 24 total, but that's split amongst your 8 tracks. So each track maximum can have 8 note polyphony. If you don't know what that is, you definitely do your research. That means only 8 notes at a time can play. So if you get past 24 notes, it starts cutting notes off. So keep that in mind if you're trying to do something more than just play a sample, that it can get kind of weird on you quick. Because I used to try to play like gospel chords on it. That don't work. You can only have 8 notes max, and it gets really weird quick. You stayed away from the Behemoth MPC XL. I'm sticking with the smaller gear. I don't want to get the moves again since they updated it, and it's guy who free program that gives it some cool. Yeah, I saw that free program. Yep, and I agree with you. The MPCXL I think it's for like real professional studio producers who that's their primary bread and butter is MPC. I think that's what that's for. The move looks extremely cool. I've never bought one. I didn't have it at first. I didn't like it when it first came out. That's a weird stuff. Able to move. Maybe I should type in the right thing. But it's definitely better where it's at than when it started. If the price was a little bit less, if it was 350, that's a no-brainer, grab it. I think 5 is a little much in my for me personally, is a little much because you're limited. Even with the audio tracks being there now, I think you can only have one audio track per track, not per pad, but per track. Those little rectangular, circular things over on the side, each track. So when you're using the audio, like if you want to use like the drum tracks, you can put 16 pieces in there, right? But when you're using just an audio track, you only get one. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of limiting, but it's cool. When they add link audio to it where you can go right into your DAW, I think that's when and they added the audio over USB-C. So in that case, it's pretty nice. If you have the funds for it, it's a good device. But if not, you could go with Ableton's Note on iOS, which was on iPhone and iPad, and then grab yourself a keyboard or one of these little MIDI controllers, and you can get, I think, 8 tracks on that one. 8 tracks on Note. So that means you could have double the tracks that you have just by using the iPad but if you are a person who just like, nope, not using an iPad, then pretty much your option is this, unless you want to go shell out for the standalone and get the Push 3. And then you have way more options. I've been searching on Reverb and some in the range of, yeah, so definitely check Reverb out. If you're not familiar with that, reverb.com, and able to move. There it is. And you can get, like you were saying, you can sometimes find some for around 375 ish, 420, 425. See, here's my problem. If I pay 425, I might as well go get the new one. There's no point in buying somebody's used ticket item. And this one says local pickup only. So let's say you got the one for 420, but then they want $20 shipping. You pay 440. I mean, in my opinion, if you're gonna pay that, you might as well just go ahead and get the new one. At least you know where it's at. Like, and you have a return if you hate it. So it's it's really up to the user, but that's just my personal opinion on it. I don't see any use right now other than these two. But but yeah, if you run across one that's like 375 or 350, then I'd say grab it. It's worth it for sure. I'm gonna look it up like this, see if it populates any other ones. Nope, they're all the same. So yeah, check out also check out Amazon, because sometimes people buy one and see these come with the intro. You don't really need the intro. Here's a renewed one for this amount on Amazon. But if you click on, let's see, if you click on this one, sometimes you come down and here's again the like new one that's 450. So if you click here, you can sometimes see that there's another one cheaper. That's not cheap enough to me, but if you can find a way to get one for about 350-ish, that's pretty good. Um, what's the other one? Sometimes you can go to eBay and look. Just be careful when you're buying on eBay. Make sure you're buying from a reputable seller so you don't get burned, because sometimes you get like this is ridiculous. Like who's gonna pay 475 and then pay you $27 for a delivery when you can get it for brand new for 489? Some people. Um yeah, and make sure you're buying it in the country, not from Japan or somewhere other else, because it you know what's funny about that? I was able to get a push, not a push, SP404 Mark II from Japan. This was before all the tariffs and all that stuff, for like 300. I think it was shipped to me for like 399, like total 399. I mean, maybe some taxes, but that was back when they were still costing right around $500. But I was able to get a brand new one from Japan. I got it in 3 days. I'm just saying, it's stuff like that. Now you can't. You go look at something from Japan, you'll be paying $600-700 for an MP for something you can go to the store and get it for for like $400-500. It was crazy. Yeah, eBay can be sketchy on some stuff, so just be careful if you go to eBay. I don't always recommend them just because of that, but like this person's Sauce Boss. I'm not saying they're not legit, but it just sounds funny. Buying it, Sauce Boss is giving you a $10 off as if that's like a steal. I'm sorry, $10 is not worth it. Sorry, eBay. No disrespect, but y'all be letting some folks, anybody sell on that joint. It don't even matter. It's crazy. But anyway, tons of options. Do your homework. Find some deals. Check around. Ask around before you buy if you can. And you never know, who you'll find selling something at a lower cost. But that's the kicker. Find yourself a good deal. What's up, crazy rabbit? No sketchy. It's oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, Etsy is amazing. If you're buying some from Etsy, there's some good hats and different things. Look at this one with a fish. Anyway, but be careful getting them Etsy sketchy presets, that's for sure. And let's see, Ableton. If you type in something like able to move, there's nobody actually selling an able to move on it on Etsy. But you can get stands. These are pretty good. Like when you buy these little stands from people, it's pretty nice. Watch out for people with masks on. No, I'm just kidding. That tell you they give you 160,000 MIDI files and they got a mask on. with a hood. I'm sorry, that's just funny. I wasn't gonna laugh, but I can't help myself. Look at this, 160,000, and it's my noggin bricks. I don't even know what that means, but it's funny. Oh joy! And I'm not trying to knock this person's hustle. 398. Yeah, no, I'm back. I was buying some. Oh, some rocks for creativity. Orange calcite, solarplex. So you do fine art and other art outside of music. That's great. With that said, I'm looking at some Digitech replacement keys on Etsy. Electron keys, maybe? Replacement keys for Digitone 1 and 2. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, some of the stuff on here is actually really good. I mean, you can find some pretty neat frosted 8-bit. I think these are kind of cool. And if I had a Digitac or Tone, I used to have them, but I don't have them now. That'd be pretty cool. So they definitely have the accessories on Sketchy Etsy. It's pretty cool. Trying to think what else out there. Current ones are busted. Yeah, if you got some busted ones, you got to do what you got to do. I'm really hoping, guys, that Roland does a new update for that actually is an update for the machine itself. Because the 404 is still one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. I miss it. The S4 Torso just came out with an update. I don't know if it's out to the public, but it's definitely out there in the atmosphere, whatever. It's out there. But I don't know if it's yet dropped for the public. But anyway, they're coming out with some stuff. Torso Electronics, all sticky and nasty. Yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. You gotta get those things cleaned up. Can't have no janky buttons. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's going to be the end, unless somebody else has something they wanted to bring that they're looking forward to or something that's coming out. I think we're going to end it there. Appreciate everybody stopping in. Linda's son, Hero, Crazy Rabbit, Marcus. Do we need firmware update or hardware update for the? I think both. To answer your question, Crazy Rabbit, we need for right now the firmware update would be fine. Down the road, maybe next year, a new 404 Mark III would be cool, where they update the sequencer and make it more current. But for some people, they don't want that. So, but I think for the majority, the workflow of the SP404 could be enhanced even more to make it more appealing to the masses. Let's leave it like that. I know nothing about this rock stuff, but the lady allowed me to record some video footage to put on my channel. Help give her some advertisement. She gave me the whole rundown. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Yeah, I wish I was into the video thing. I just do these videos for YouTube, but never really got into doing other videos for art. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I appreciate again each and every one of you. Ross, appreciate you. I'm just going through Lift the Noise. Raul, thank you. Wonder Art, appreciate you. Matrix Edit, appreciate you. Marcus, appreciate you. Again, each and every one of you, if you can hit the like on your way out, I'm grateful for that. And no, it's all good, Rabbit. We were talking about, actually, I was talking about you in the beginning of the video. If you go back and watch, I actually got since I'm going to say this for the last part, um, because you were talking about the Sonus that I had mentioned, I went and picked up the Zoom, the Zoom L6 Max. So I got it on a discount, like 17% off. So I grabbed the max because that extra sub out is the thing. Yeah, appreciate you too, Hero. Thank you, man. You too. You have a good one. So and then the high Z, I didn't even realize they had high Z on there. So that's kind of cool. The sub out is cool. The screen is nice. The bounce feature, I didn't even think about that. So so this is actually so much better than what it was. And on top of that, it's still portable. And we can use, now that you figured out the Sonos adapter. Yeah, so I'll let you know my thoughts. Yeah, once it gets here. And I think it's gonna be all good. I think everything on it appeals to me way more than, I mean, the other one still appeals to me, but this one is nicer, having those extra features and that screen. And who knows where they'll take it? They may improve it and do some enhancements on this too. So we'll see where it goes from there. Again, I didn't even know. Did you know there's a AI noise reduction? So on button on here that you can actually, it'll reduce the any noise that you may hear in the line. If you haven't looked at that, take a look at the video this guy did. I forgot what his name is. Let me see if I can just find it real quick before I go. Um, Not inspiration. I just need to go to YouTube in general. See if it'll pop up without me having to. Let's see, Zoom L6 Max. I'll show you at least where the video is. This is the guy right here. So he's Babe Mud. And watch this one here. This is the one where he breaks down the features difference. But yeah, if you look at this, he'll talk about it. And it's pretty cool, the fact that they added those features in the AI noise portion. There's you, Crazy Rabbit. Right? Well, that was you. Where'd it go? YouTube and moving stuff around. There you are. But anyway, yeah, so it's gonna be cool. I don't This will be the only interface I have, so oh, you follow him. Nice. Yeah. So I'll let you know my thoughts once I have it in hand. And again, I strongly encourage finding discounts where you can. And I've heard that this one also right here has a mounting for those that have a rack. So if you have a Euro rack, they make a adapter, Euro rack adapter. I don't have one, but I'm just saying. So that's kind of cool that they sell those separate. Okay, guys. You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next video. All right.